Gross, loud.
Yeah, just.
Oh, gosh, that's
He's very good at kicked my butt quite a few times. I kind of stopped playing games after a while. At first it was fine because I was older and I was smarter and, had that advantage. And then he started getting really smart, kept beating me and everything, so I didn't want to play with him anymore.
I came out for his 21st birthday to help him celebrate, and he went and got the Uno cards.
Just not something most 21-year-olds would do.
No.
When she was here, she said she was gonna hold my hand for the rest of my life. We walked in Newburgh hand in hand, and it was awesome. Last thing I'm gonna say, if I can remember what it was, welcome to old age. Oh, well, I'll pipe up when I remember.
Yeah.
I'll pipe up. I got it. Quick, nobody talks when I'm forgetting. No, I had nothing to do with that. It was more of a memory.
Trying to make sure I don't.
I'll come up with it. But anyway,
Can you tell us anything?
carry on.
What about anybody else who has some memories?
Yeah.
Everyone was kind of
Some of the folks that were online, I had to restart the stream. She was just, a lot of them, she was a good friend to them. They started calling her, well, they had started to try and call her May, and she wouldn't let them because that was my nickname for her. She was my May. And so they started calling her Mama May.
Mama May.
Mama May. So, and then
Do you guys
also,
know that May is my maiden name? M-A-Y.
She changed the spelling.
So,
She took my middle name, my family last name, and my mother's maiden name.
Please, the Lieutenant part comes from my side of the family. It's very French. My grandfather was French Huguenot, of French Huguenot descent. He was born on Iowa, Jersey, and named Channel. When Hayden took that name, he wanted to know all about the history of the Lieutenant name. And
I think it was very cool, the choosing of the name.
I was so flattered that he wanted to include that in his new identity. Incredibly moved by that.
she, with all of this too, she loved cheetahs, so she was a cheetah. And with it, I kind of coined her Maida. Instead of cheetah, she was a Maida.
Yeah.
And with that, she started using that in like her Twitter and stuff like that. And it was something that stuck with her. She also one thing that she wanted to do was like D&D stuff. And so I put it out there, I had an idea. We were watching 7 Deadly Sins, and we love 7 Deadly Sins, and I made a game for her. And Mondo did really well, being the veteran player. They ended up with an attack of highly uncoordinated doom. And they were rolling, all of them rolled, and once they hit 30, I just said, I'm done. I'm not even gonna try with that. And we had Ren with us, and I believe it was still, I think Danny was still with us as well for that.
Was this the big group or something?
Yeah, the big,
That's big.
And
He was there as well.
yeah, with that, it was, she was kind of spontaneous at times, and we would always have various things. Like, if you're like, I want ice cream. Well, I want ice cream too. Fine, I'll order. And she loved her chocolate ice cream with double sour gummy worms on it.
So, we're on.
We, the last thing that we ended up doing was we went over to Corinne's place with brother and did hot wings, and there was a minor miscommunication.
Yep.
But it was okay. Brother decided to spice it up a little bit with his jalapeno ranch.
Oh my goodness.
And she had fallen asleep on the couch on me. And I was perfectly content letting her sit there as a pillow, or I would be her pillow while she did that. And so it was pretty awesome to see, kind of how she blossomed and how she grew through that. She loved that laugh of hers with it. And then just with how she ended up interacting with friends and things like that, and being able to go ahead and just kind of bring light to her room. She brought light to my life, and I loved her so much at where I was volunteering. I stepped down for her, and I had been one of the volunteers that was doing moderation for almost a year and a half, and she meant that much to me to where I stepped down for her, because I would rather have her in my life than anything else, because is that I don't know if you all know, but she had a floral tattoo on her left shoulder. Cherry blossoms, one that was closed and one that was open. That was to represent me and also her transition. The beginning of it, she had a whole back piece planned out. She got lucky for that. The guy wanted an extra hour to let the onion cream because he was a quote-unquote wimp, with that. So she got an hour in the chair, and she got that. The heart that is on my arm for my arm piece was supposed to be gold. And I figured, you know what, let her pick it out. And of course she picked pink, which is her favorite color. We always say it was shortly after that she had proposed to me. And I said yes.
One of her other favorite things to do for youth soccer was cook. No, she didn't do a ton, but she used to get a hold of me. She liked my cooking, and anything she really kind of learned to begin with, she kind of learned from me. And she'd ask me how to do something. She'd ask me, what should I cook for soccer tonight? I really want to do something nice for her. I want her to, feel appreciated. She works so hard. I appreciate her. I want her to know that, So occasionally she'd just get a hold of me for ideas and recipes and bounce stuff off of me, and I thought that was really cool because it was, it made me feel good and made me feel good to know that she was trying to make me happy.
And
She tried to make a lot of people
She
happy.
did.
I mean, my niece doesn't call me on my birthday, but my older niece, but my younger niece did.
Your younger niece doesn't have children.
Yes, that's true. So I can still hear that voice. I can still hear that voice in my head. Hi, Katie. Happy birthday. And I know that as time goes by, those things kind of evaporate from memory. I just hope that never evaporates from that. Because I loved that voice. And I thought it was so sweet that she took the time every birthday for the last probably 10 years to call me. Well, maybe not 10
You got more than I did.
Same here. FYI, she called Auntie more often than she called me on birthday, so
Okay,
I
that's
think we're even.
What was cool about it is that she knew that there was always a family member that would want to talk to her.
Yes.
And love her.
Always.
Yes, always.
Always.
We talked a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I came out here in September.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And we texted back.
Yeah.
I knew I'd get a call anytime you had problems. Anytime she had a problem with her car.
Fair.
Very
I
true.
That was fun.
got a couple of those phone
I got a
calls
couple
ahead
of-
of time, by the way. Hey, do you know what this is? I don't really want to call that. I have to call that.
You gotta call that.
Can you help me? Sometimes I was able to help out, or her out, but, you know, sometimes not so much. I remember one time the windshield wipers died
Oh my
on
goodness.
her car.
Going across the-
Yeah, and so we had to go to a pick and pull, and of course, it is freezing, pouring down rain, and incredibly difficult to get these old wipers off the old car and put them on her car. And she was trying to get them off, and she just sat down in the dirt. They're stuck. Can you help me, Sissy? I was like, all right, I got this, out of the way. So I was kind of always more of a tomboy than she was.
Yeah.
By the way, the flowering keeps on the table. Somebody from each table will elect somebody to take them home.
Yes, that's what they're for.
That's what they're for.
And
The arm wrestle,
Well, it's not
I'll
very
videotape
personal,
it if
obviously.
you want to arm wrestle. There are a couple of them.
There's also, if you want to color, there's stuff in the background. I promise I'll relinquish the pinks.
She, when I tried to cook for her, she managed to save my purple chicken marsala. I had no idea what I was doing. I was following a recipe.
It's not worse than doing it, you're just winging it sometimes.
I think I forgot an ingredient.
Chicken?
No. though that wouldn't necessarily, yeah. I mean, we both,
Possibility.
I mean, we both suffer from ADHD squirrel.
I'll plead the fifth on
It's
that
a
one.
squirrel?
Yeah, it's blue squirrel, you know. But she and I, we reignited passions in each other that we hadn't done. Like, she hadn't really worked on her art in a while, and all of a sudden she's taking commissions. We're both cooking together. Our last meal that we made together is currently frozen in my freezer. Kind of deciding on kind of what to do with it. With that. She was innovative. She wanted to go ahead and pick up sewing. Maybe was going to get her a sewing machine. And we still have this shirt that has a hole in it about yay big, you know, and we never fixed it. Together, we planned our life for the next 5 to 10 years. We planned trips, we planned our honeymoon, we planned what we were doing, we planned where we were going to visit. We planned friends, we planned get-togethers. Things when COVID would end. You know, she wanted to go to a bar. For here, Ebert's was the favorite place that we liked to come. They knew us by name here. You know, Jackie, who's serving all of you all. Made it a point to learn her name and to learn my name. And my name was very hard. She kept trying over and over to get it correct. And I mean, mind you, I'll respond to anything that's really close to that. And she
was hard.
She was an amazing person with that. Something that we really wanted to do is help the transgender community out. And we were going to try and make a nonprofit called Wayfarer Transitions. It is a very underserved community. Many of the folks that I know that have been through surgeries did not have the support. They did not have the knowledge of where to go start to finish. They did not have the knowledge for insurance, of, oh, what's covered? How much am I going to have to pay? Is this a network? Things like that. And our goal was to do that as what we were going to do together. I don't know if I have the strength yet to move forward with it, but I would like to.
Well, you will get there. They will be by your side.
Well, you may not have your physical strength right now, that fire's there, I know it is.
With everybody that's here and the ones that were online that we ended up dropping off, I guess.
Yeah, they're still there.
I just want to say thank you all so much for being here to help us celebrate her life. She means a lot to everybody, and for those that are here, we have coffee that was brewed by, that grounds, I believe it's from, that's right, from her father, which she loved. I would love for you all to partake. And a cup of that to enjoy what she enjoyed. If you like coffee, she
loved coffee.
Yeah.
She drank us out of coffee and half and half. Mind you, we were 12 miles up a mountain.
It's nice to be bouncing off the walls, but it didn't seem to make a difference if she drank 2 cups or if she drank 12.
She used to bring us 64-ounce canteens to work.
That is insane.
That would be me.
It was a 64-ounce teal container.
Yep.
With that, and I would make sure that she had the coffee in the morning. She'd fill it with half and half. I'd make sure that it was brewed. The first time I attempted coffee for this girl,
Oh.
I broke the coffee maker. I had no idea what I'm doing. I don't drink coffee. I broke the coffee maker, and apparently the grounds had overflowed into the reservoir thing. And I was just like, oh, that, and she, playfully, huffed about it. And after 15 or whatever cycles or whatever with it. So, and everybody, that's Jackie, that's back there.
Hi, Jackie.
With that, I learned how to cook eggs Benedict for her, gluten-free.
She mentioned that was one of her favorite dishes.
I at first thought I totally screwed it up. I did not know actual eggs Benedict, you're supposed to be able to taste the lemon.
Yes.
We changed the recipe because I ran out of lemon.
Oh no.
And all I had left was lime.
Oh, wow. What are you gonna do?
And she preferred the lime over the lemon.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to try it with lime because I haven't actually tried it with lime yet. Just about everything else is supposed to have lemon juice with lime because I brought out a lemon juice, but I started buying my lemon juice at Costco because we go through a lot of it. So
Yeah, we for Mother's Day we were gonna head over to Corinne's, and she was gonna cook the eggs. She hated when I did eggs.
well, for eggs Benedict, they're a little tough. You want to actually poach them. Did she actually poach them?
No.
Or just kind of over easy?
Kind of over easy, and she made sure that she'd always flip the thingy in the pan. And for me, I'd always,
Beat the egg.
yeah.
We're all missing words here.
And so, granted, it was crappy eggs Benedict, and I used a piece of gluten-free toast.
Yeah, I do, man.
It was made with love.
Yeah.
That made it taste that much better.
I put it on hash browns before.
Wow.
All we didn't have any bread. It's bread-ish,
Oh, I know what I was gonna say, I'm sorry. I'm gonna butt in, but I am a stupid neuron finally fired. This is really helping, I can tell you. So, I have 2 objects, and this isn't as much about me. as it is about love. I have two objects. I have a humongous platter that has a chip in it. It's a big old, it's one of the first ones that my husband and I were able to afford. And Ari was washing it when she was younger, and she dropped it and chipped it, and Bob and I were really pissed off.
In my defense, I dropped it in the sink because it was covered in soap. Maybe wash it.
You know what?
So,
Hand doesn't
I'm not
work,
you.
I get it.
So it started with this,
Anyway.
right.
We realized, and God forgive me, it took me a while to figure it out, that platter with a chip in it means more to me than anything else I have like that. Because it reminds me daily to not, things don't matter. Love matters. Love matters.
Love matters.
The second thing is, and this directly relates to May, she made a mobile. I tore my house apart trying to find it the night that I found out. I still haven't done it. I know I have it. It hung in my house for years. This mobile, I mean, now this is a dyslexic child who's got problems. You know that.
Well, and she was pretty young.
She's very young. So she comes home with it, and it's
All
It's a
tangled up.
mess.
It's a big mess.
a mess. And I get it, and I'm like, ah.
And
And
I brought that back in one piece, kid.
yeah, well, that night, I understood, and I took it, and I put it back to one piece. When I find it, it's getting put in a shadow box. That child made something and brought it to me in love. For God's sake, people, love,
Yes.
love. Always choose love. Sometimes you're mad. Sometimes you're mad, and they know it. But choose love, please. Please.
You're here.
Okay, now for the fun stuff, right?
Where's the love thing goes? She was very loved.
She was very loved.
I got it. Yep.
I don't know how many of you people actually know that in a previous life, May was a hunter. May went elk hunting with me. And the first time I took her elk hunting with me, we had a great time. And hiking through the woods and talking, and trying to be quiet while we're talking. I learned from my brother-in-law when I was like 12 years old how to track, or at least he tried to train me, and so I was trying to pass that down. And so we're looking down at this dirt road, and I'm showing these different tracks and the difference between a cow elk and a bull elk, and they're on this. And all of a sudden, May's like, "Dad, bull." And I was like, "Yeah, that's bull elk track right there." "No, Dad, bull." I said, "Yeah, that's
I got it.
You're right. That's exactly what that is." He goes, "Dad, over there." And I looked up. There was a big bull going up into the trees. And after that, I didn't bother to look. Just like May looked, because they got in the trees. There's no way I could have got a shot.
She did have a good eye for that kind of stuff.
Man,
Yeah, it
Really
was.
did.
that's one of the fond memories that we have of being together. Just man, absolutely. The most recent is she came out to visit us about a month ago. And,
I'm so glad she did.
Me too.
she came out. I actually, as Sakura was saying, that I actually have a coffee roasting company, and she came out with me to go through the roasting process and roast coffee with me out on our roasting line.
Pretty cool.
It
It
was
was a blast being able to show it. to
I
her.
don't even get it.
And the details
You're like-
and everything.
Yeah.
We just had a good time.
That's great. I'm so glad, because it turns out,
That was it.
it seemed to be the farewell tour, but we didn't know it at the time.
Yeah, farewell tour. I'm sorry.
Family meant a lot.
Yeah, family did. And I don't, This child was very different. The older one was loving. Day one, baby loving. May did not want to be touched. May had to be in a dark room, quiet, no human touch in order to fall asleep.
Used to call her the sleep deprivator.
Look, yeah. Yep. I don't know where I was going with that.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's easily derailed, let me tell you.
I think we all easily.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's one thing. Be nice to old people because we don't.
Here, I'll take number. In the bowl.
She only fell asleep on a handful of people,
Right.
and she told me that, she didn't fall asleep on a lot of people.
No, she did not.
And with me, she would be able to fall asleep. It would be in the car, on the bed. It would be,
Sitting on the couch in the middle of a conversation.
yeah. She, with that, at the same time, didn't matter. I could be having one of the worst days ever and not feeling well, have massive migraine pain, and I could just go and curl up on her lap, and lay my head on her lap, and she'd just stroke my hair and tell me things were gonna be okay. And I wouldn't realize, but 3 or 4 episodes later of Supernatural, I was all like, oh, what happened? And she's all like, oh, we'll just go back and rewatch it. And I was like, oh, okay. She was just the synergy she had and the love towards her friends, towards her family. She initially didn't want to go out to see her family without me, because we were like, we had originally planned it. And I told her, I was like, you know what? I can't get away, but you need to go.
Appreciate that summer. It gave her a chance to meet her niece for the second time ever as, a bigger kid, not a baby. And my daughter just absolutely adored her. Just didn't want to stop touching her or crawling on her or paying attention to her the whole time she was there. And she just was so good with her. She just picked her up and just held her and hugged on her, and my kid hugged her right back, and she doesn't do that much. She does that with me, she does that with her dad for the most part. That's about it.
And with her,
Even my almost 2-year-old daughter could feel that love.
yeah, with her, I told her, I was like, you need to go. I'll be here, I'll be fine. And she was worried about me. She was very worried about me, especially with the state of mind that I was in. And there are some of you here that know what happened in January. There are some that don't. She, at that point, almost broke me. And I was going through and dealing with that. But I loved her, and I knew she loved her family. And I wanted her to go out and make sure that she had time, with them. And the original plan was we'd drive out there together. And if things weren't, looking gravy or whatever, we'd be like, deuces, Yeah. And it took some convincing in order to get her out there. But she went. A lot of things lined up. And these last few months, she was fired for discrimination because she was trans. She was denied the benefits due to her brain surgery. So she was on unemployment, and she had the time to go. Because I'm trans, I was let go from my position. And with that, I got to spend the last couple weeks with her in order to be, with her. I thank my friend RJ very much for coming over and helping me and telling me that even if he was here with her, there was nothing he would have been able to do. And knowing her family and how loved she was, knowing her friends, and knowing the impact that she made on a number of lives here. Makes me feel all the better.
There was, 2 people when she was going to school, late grade school, early junior high. Jennifer Berger and I think she was Middleton at the time. Thought she was in witness protection, actually. But anyway, I know, a whole other story.
Thank you.
Anyway, they invited her to go with them. One was a school counselor and another one was, I think, one of her teachers. Anyway, they invited May to go with them to Greece. So we did. I mean, this kid's been to China, May went to Greece. I've been to Nectar, but to me it was important that my children understand a world beyond me. And so,
Not a beginning, we lived in Ireland.
well, that too, but
She
I
was
mean,
really great, yeah.
a world beyond what they had already seen or what we had taken them to. But where I was going earlier is that whatever it was that May was dealing with in her very early life, she was not one that took to physical contact easily. And when my husband and I first met and he finally hugged me, I'm like, it's about farting time. Because I'm a hugger. I don't wait for invitations, I'm sorry, I just move in. And if you don't like it, well, I guess I get busted on charges of something. Anyway, I was unable to not touch my child, even though my child sometimes didn't want it. But I think that had a lot to do with her ability to touch other people's lives. Not that I'm taking, I don't mean to take credit, that's not what I mean. It's just, I could not touch this person, and she blossomed into an incredible, loving human being.
Touching.
She was touchy. She was touchy.
She was a hugger.
She was a hugger.
Yes,
Yes.
she has that,
Yeah.
whenever she takes.
Yeah, and that was not how she was born. It was not.
Oh.
But I could not.
She's like that with me too, she's like, when we were little, yes, when we were older. And then when she came to visit, we were sitting on the couch. I didn't
I had a
remember.
choice.
That was, you know.
You met this person and you had to love her.
Yeah.
And as a baby, you couldn't even really rock her to sleep because she didn't like being in your arms.
Touched her health.
So we had one of those swings that were battery powered.
Yeah.
And
That's
we
what she
could put her in
loves.
that and she'd go right out. And it was somewhat devastating.
It was really hard as a parent.
Very hard to do.
I remember sitting in a car one time, in a truck, when we took her up to, I have one picture of May with her grandfather, his dad, and it's because we went ahead and sprang for a family gathering, even though I said, I can't find it. And Bob said, we can't afford not to. So these kids spent the night with him. But she could not handle being touched. But I think somehow or another, we're both very touchy people. She brought us along with her.
Sure.
She brought us along with her. Oh, I know what it was. I'm sorry, people. I'm so sorry. I remember sitting in the truck at this place where we were camping, and I remember sitting in the truck and saying, I really love this child, Lord, but I'm having a really hard time later. Help! And things like turned the corner right after that. And was much better. Sometimes it was difficult to love this child, but this child was so worth loving. So worth it.
Yes.
So are you, by the way.
Well, Cindy had no trouble hugging us. She turned into a hugger. I
Yeah,
know she
she
did.
did. I won!
As she got older, she became more affectionate with She was always that way with me. And,
The only
you know,
thing is that she was so tall when I hugged her.
Make it tough.
My face was right where it should not have been.
She was more rolling down than I am.
So kind of with that, let's go ahead and I'll reminisce with that. There's some food that's back there, and please go ahead and enjoy the coffee as a toast to May. And as a final toast to her, to send her off on her way with all of this. I don't have a drink, I drink it all.
This is bad luck to us with an empty glass.
That's okay.
But with it, we raise her spirit up. We hold her to the love, the compassion, and what she taught us to feel in our hearts.
Yes.
And we are all blessed and honored to have met her and had her in our lives. She is my everything. She is my heart. She is my soul. I love her from now until the end of eternity. May death never do us part. Those were going to be our custom wedding vows to each other. But yet, they are the vows that I say now and I still hold dear. Because for her, I know she's waiting. And for everybody here, for the pets, for everybody else, she'll be waiting in order to greet us with that warm smile, that laugh you can hear across the room. So thank you all for joining me in this celebration of her life. To May. And if you all have wishes you wish to give her, the poster that's out there that has her picture on it, please feel free to go ahead and put your final wishes on that. I will.
There's also 2 sign-in books.
2 sign-ins.
One for this side of the family and one for South.
And then there's some stuff in the
All
corner.
good, all that good stuff.
So please go ahead and enjoy the food. And for those that are online, thank you guys very much.
Thank you for coming. Enjoy your food.
Thank you all.
Somebody has to be first.
I just have to figure out how to.
I use software that can do that.
You have software?
I have software. If you Dropbox it to me.
Okay, I can just Dropbox it to you.
Yeah, I don't. I'll create a Dropbox.
We'll figure something out. I just
Yeah.
was concerned about that not working and people missing out, and so I started videoing for
Last time I was speaking with her was her going back to school. I was telling her how great the professors that Let's see.
I nominate soccer.
Telling her how great the professors
I nominate soccer as well, okay? Yeah, I mean, obviously stating the obvious. Did you like that water now?
Yeah.
Okay, I will get one.
Yeah, what was I brought?
Reaching across, but she like, it was, yeah.
I always feel so tall in these boots, and then I remember, hey. And I'm like, oh, yeah, they do it out there. So we got
6'5".
She was a big girl.
Thank you. Those were really, I can tell that was heartfelt.
Yeah.
I know you're older than me. I fight. It's okay, Grace still yells at me and she's 3 years younger than me. Keep that under your skin.
Oh.
So you did good no matter what. You kept hugging her and she finally got, when you were telling that story, I was going, I think Sacker was at a certain age, you know.
Emperor's New Year, no touchy, no touchy. The Emperor's New Year was a family communication. I think even maybe, she could a lot. Maybe one year. Did you?
We did Emperor's New Cruise. We
Isn't it time? Isn't it just blowing you away? You think it's
I didn't know this person, but she was always. Growing up, she was always playing games or, you know, just like she is now. When first game we got here, what was it? She had it all together. So the first night, the next morning we got up, she didn't.
Exactly.
Just put it together.
Yeah, brilliant.
Who's the first? Yes, Lord.
The division together is how we came.
What'd you play?
The division.
Okay.
That's the division 2. That's how we came together.
She traded t-shirts so many times. Wrong generation.
And I still have her back that set of box. How was your JJ ended up being one of our No, you should seriously, you should see. So there's a shoebox that we have that's upstairs. And there are shreds of the shoebox.
Oh, yeah.
Little shoebox. Red's box. Red's box that, he laid in.
Yeah.
There's shreds everywhere. At 3 a.m. in the morning, she has the zoomies. And we're both sitting there going, we are going to turn you both into scarves. And it's her that has the zoomies, and it's Red chasing her to stop her. Once he finally catches her, he just goes, thump. She goes, I was the one that went to get
Why did she object?
She didn't really want the kid with that, and because we had because we had gone to the shelter, she had got felt ignored by the house, and
May did?
And so there was just this kitten that was online, it kind of spoke to her, so she went and got it. And that was her kitten, because Red's my cat. Red will come up and he's just plop, Between him and her, he would literally crawl up on my chest right here, and then she'd be like, "Hey, that's my spot," or he would be up on the bed and she'd lay right here, and he'd go, "Me."
I can see that. I can see it.
Fred would always take her spot at the bed, take her pillow.
I just wanted an orange kitty. I went to the vet, or not the vet, but the adoption vet. Oh, there's an orange kitty. It's my It's just like people say, oh, I have a Maine Coon, or I have a Russian blue, and I'm like, I have an orange cat, and I love it.
Fred chose me. He crawled up my legs and literally brought me down. Yeah, brought me down. And that was 2 days later.
Is this Zoom, by the way? I mean, is it recorded?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I also took about 30 minutes of video, so I wasn't sure how that would work.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna send it to soccer.
Thank you.
And I did all this joke, about kind of our relationship thing when we got the car. We were driving, and I was like, he's gonna ask, who wears the pants, who makes the financial decision. And you're like, she does. And
She does.
no, I mean, literally. I go, she does, right? Guy goes, and she goes, give it to her. But you just said you wore the pants. You wear the pants. She made the decision. I don't remember.
I've always been a matriarchal society person. I think we think it's very personal.
With her,
There are so many boundaries that this is a story I didn't tell, but I'm sitting on my living room couch. I have my relatives who've flown in at the high school graduation. And they're going, so, is she graduating? I don't know. I did not know this kid was graduating until the day before. And the principal's like, well, she did it differently, but she did it. She almost did not. But it wasn't because she wasn't smart. It's because that was not what her focus was. And she did it. She did it. And I think it was because she wanted to please.
she's got a really high IQ.
She did. She has a girlfriend in high school, biological. You probably didn't know. Yeah. Broke her heart. But anyway.
Turns out that as soon as I learned she was gay.
What did she?
Danielle learned she was gay.
What did she get to me?
She was friends zoned.
Friend zoned it?
Yeah, basically. There's never anything that's gonna happen.
No friendship, no nothing.
No,
You know why? Because Danielle's state and Danielle's is right down religious. I gotta tell you, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus Christ, I believe in eternal life through Jesus Christ. But I don't want to be called religious because to me, love triumphs. That's what Jesus said. That's my job. I was great. I was not. I don't mean I'm sorry as in I mean I'm sorry. It's a heartfelt apology. But I wasn't always great. But But I love that child. Love that child.
She knew. It was for her, I talked to her about her relationship with her dad and stuff like that, and everything that ended up happening. She just, she's like, the only one who's having a hard time doing the chance.
I was so mad. It's not that I was, it's not that I could understand, it's not that. You were made up, but it can. Love, his mom was 6 foot in a period, really bad, dental hair, bad. There's a whole story behind his mom, and longshoremen, and New York City, and subways.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Awesome. Anyway.
You're never gonna be told.
Oh, she
I will, Dad. I will, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna be.
She actually
Right on behind me.
She was 6'7".
She had, I mean,
She's shrinking by the day.
this person has an ancestor who was 7 foot.
Yeah, great grandfather.
My dad is 6'4". I have a cousin who's 6'7".
Yeah?
My mom was 5'6" before she got old and shrunk.
Yeah. I don't want to.
I'm
5'2".
Yeah, the short people with short
I
long
want
hair.
to. I just, no matter. That child was always loved. That's all I'm gonna say. The child was loved. I love you too. And I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I wanted years. I wanted years. I wanted her to bury me. And not you. Me.
We had plans, for that. The only time I ever worried about it was her grandkids.
You know, it was done, it supposedly ended. You know, you wait for the.
I want coffee, but it's
Wait.
too late with days.
Okay, that's a drop all day. Wait, what the fuck? Take flowers.
Right. Just to have a spot on your black glove, and if my wife wants to kind of hand it out already. It'll be on my face if I have it. He's getting something. I don't want to finish this.
I gave.
When is the last time soccer against you?
That's what I was just about to ask. Go get something. Or tell us what you want.
I'm not currently eating, so I'm happy to go get you something. I was gonna say, usually I have anti-nausea, which means I don't. Thank you for drinking water. Creamer. For the coffee.
No, we have the. I mean, it's like, there's a, all kind of option to log, you can try to do something with. But I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you get power, I don't know how you do hours. We have to go down to the house. Yeah, so it's kind of our, maybe one of you will try to do something very little bit out there. Really more of a deep kind of, yeah, but it's very beautiful, very isolated, very,
I am too, so I took over this past side to make sure.
She's had that land for a long time, And she did all that. Serious work. 25 years ago.
It took me a minute to make it to the That's why I kept
Pandemic style. Maybe there's nothing wrong. I go there. I will be able to go and get some guys. He's a very stereotypical gay hair species. So he's very outspoken. He'll let me know exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Like, I go down.
Regardless of everything's quite often. I just take it off my kitchen. I would say
it was a little. It's break off the shirt.
Age appropriate little hairs for.
Here it's there.
Now, that was one of Mae's favorites. Eat your asparagus, everybody, one of Mae's favorites.
You're like, lady, you are so freaking weird.
Not how I wanted to have all of us around the table. You know, once.
I was thinking.
I think this is a short tidbit for like, I was hoping to TCO. Walking breakfast
Make sure you go back there. There's people.
That's how I imagine all of us reading. You know, I feel sad, you know, it's my brain hurts right we are after the surgery. You know, a lot better to see you in person.
We've all three.
So you guys are going to
Would be actually a good condition.
Sorry, it's just saying go back one more, just grab another plate.
Because I'm running.
Sorry,
When she,
I don't know where those are.
when she walked through such a bunch of you know the meme of, you know, girlfriend in the head, the girlfriend snapping. You know, she was the one that was walking by. There's her girlfriend walking. That's mine. You know, all my phone, you know.
She's going to be
And again, I just some of these.
Take the link out of That's cool.
In between.
No, they're not. It's like, it's a technical place, though. It's real.
She just looks like
We, like, walk out of the back, I think it's you know, we take it off on the house. You know, put our fingers through it and go, I did.
I have to say, did not.
Yeah.
That poor kid who was going to be alright, and he was screwed. Because this is not hug on me.
But yeah, you guys want to be, everybody.
A lot of people are afraid they don't get to work. They can just be themselves.
Any of this is a book.
They're very positive. You know,
There's something.
They want to be some role playing and stuff.
It doesn't stop. Over in the door, and then they were
yeah, you're like, hi.
Yeah, this just comes down to.
And that's after she was 6'7". And she was she never wore her flat sleeve on her.
If you can do it, you can kind of be both at the same time. It takes a lot of practice. And also knowing where like if I have some friends out there who are one of my more serious games, I'll invite them to my experimental games because they're that type of person. Okay, I'm going to game and they want to do it. Let's do it. So I need to do it. It's like you love going to my evil campaign. That's loud.
I have the character to bring into work for personalities that have specific triggers.
I would run something with a character like that.
One of my last characters was a paladin.
I have a lot of friends who
I have some fun.
Yeah, I
I'll have to.
So sharp parts, you get like water
I don't know what that station is. I'm probably that's what we did. Have to escape because. And they were wondering well, for me, all my stuff, I don't have it. So yeah, for me, I think a lot of like more common aspects of work together, like more common stuff. But I always add my own little changes. Like if you go to
yeah, I mean,
oh, yeah.
Was that like a networking?
That was, no, that's all they
Did you pass that whole
Where is the house?
Many times.
She's so mad, well, let's take a little bit. Oh, yeah.
You keep doing this?
I'm sure she's on it. I mean, she's not getting so You just see many other people that.
She was 14.
And yeah, so no one knew that, so they told me to just really start walking. And then the basic, like, super nice. And yeah,
It's like, I can't imagine how it
just make sure you start paying attention.
Yeah, like they have.
Except that, I did one, he did like a team,
I did some kind of like, and I talked to like, I finally talked to her.
and writers and all the other hammers to the big like break, they just pulled over.
Yeah, they had, exactly.
So yeah, she's like built my trust to like go on anything like my life. Car or motorcycle. If this was going to be I didn't have my neighbor does he doesn't have a window. Come over.
Yeah, it's always good to know.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
What was he pretty great?
I mean,
Who says chaos?
Yeah, so we,
I'm releasing some some like 70-year-old iron.
Man, it's people talk.
So I've got and it was great like 7 years ago. Now it's works outside. So
Because no wildlife.
It's not actually.
that's good.
It's not
And I've got to do yeah. I really need to do the whole house around but I take on it yeah.
I think it's what he
I have it in my RV and it is frozen so many times without pricing. So that's a big reason.
on like Tuesday,
All I can say is it's held on about 50,000 miles. But I don't have any idea. That's exactly what I'm doing.
So I've got this,
It's such a simple house. It's started all in 1950. They built the walls, in fact, they trucked them into the river and built the house on the side like Whitney.
oh yeah.
The walls were pre-assembled and they were able to, like, they didn't have plumbing and you just got the electricity and the plumbing, they had a closet always on the other side. Then you have the plumbing. And so the plumbing comes up in the closet. And it goes through it's getting there. And there's only one bathroom, one kitchen, so I mean, it's not like, there's a lot to it, 7 square house, so it's not like there's a lot to it. I mean, I imagine some of what they're doing to do it all day. I could do it in a year.
Yeah, she was.
Short people problems, even with you, and my dress is too long.
Yeah, that's where I have Is there a way to bring my phone down?
Yeah, the,
Other than.
Yeah, but to have my. Yeah, and I can't even. So he's. No, I mean, let's be sorry.
I feel like I lost something, even though I can personally, by not being together.
But then what you get? You don't want to
Yeah.
Get out of your car. Yes.
It's a weird angle. Right on the
I almost like.
Your backpack. She likes your backpack.
And have that more living space for us, it would be really. If maybe he would smell it down the road is, yeah, it's got.
Sometimes they have.
There's lots of things that certainly.
Yeah, so
I've never listened to this thing is.
So that's what the husband is.
I'm not giving her the line until sure it's wrong.
That's not listening.
I think you're right.
You're still It smells like my at age 8, I was 13. Was driving riding his bicycle around and I didn't see yeah, but she was strong for yes, she was very young. And she so they actually that was like recently I was my partner's so she grew and so your birds are taking a break in my house. There's like 20 freaking cats in here. You're probably just gonna leave quiet. She was probably there on her cats for the rest of the day. I don't know how I feel about that. This is it. That is my face. I love seeing her. Oh my, please no. Physically, she's that is the truth. Toothless as a cat. I'd be every time
It's not like anything just keep moving there. Didn't she do? It's not even.
That's something we're doing. It's like mad about it. Well, it's very. He's a chubbalunkin. That is a very that is a judging face. That's the face of somebody. That's very concerned face. I've known cats that are not that bad.
There's so much. like 45 minutes. Yeah, you're good job. Great job. And how could I like that big she had all on all of the tracks she was on?
How was it? And it's like, I had it like she has been.
Oh, am I in the way?
No, it's that's how we do
So she takes care of your mom now.
Oh, I've seen that, that's so funny. The dog and the cow, and they're doing like martinis and all kinds of funny things to the dog. Oh, I'm gonna get on home.
all of a sudden, you know, when he's sitting there, I just hear her phone. I'm like, wow. And he's talking a million different shades. She's so beautiful now. There's a lot of stuff. He'd be in the loading screen. She loves how they're 6 feet. Then you run into her and she's like, oh, I'm gonna be this thing. This like shit kind of built. And she's very around. Very nice one.
Californians coming in, their housing was.
Exactly. Here, she's sitting here. She's just whatever playing. I have this you know, I think it's the game. And so I look forward to she goes up to like, well, some of them might be you get my phone number and then stop.
What is that?
I
will make sure I just keep from each.
But yeah, it's just.
We're gonna take care of you.
That's okay.
Even though it doesn't
I expect. It's supposed to be good, but it just.
In fact, I'm just gonna help you. We have a card that says if you do X amount of work, that's for my life every year.
So she's like,
I was gonna make.
I think she's gonna.
So I have
they should, because so thank you for getting it.
and I was in the 90s. We just drove around by the factory. We did a picture and we were watching. And so they're and so and then it's gonna be a big time for the kids. I mean, the kids, it was like singing so I thought she was finding one thing. No, she was with people. Yeah, well, when you're what difference is I was kind of shocked. Because they write like tonight. I don't know. It just doesn't.
But she was people that do
It's just like, oh, hey, are you on your stuff?
We never.
You can hang out with us.
I know something exists.
Jesse, you know, I will allow you to take me to the first. However, practice me on the cue box. May was hard.
Somewhere along the line. I've done
I don't know.
Just to make it.
I don't know.
You don't have any credit.
It just seems, I mean, you're very.
Sure.
I know that's all.
And that was confusing. I was like, those things in states. That was like
Yeah.
I don't know if that's area from here.
I will do, again, it's not very you know, it's just, but, you know, it's like, that's how it started. You have I mean, they have her own. Oh, yeah, hers is, I think it's my, so people in the chat.
And that was my rule.
I saw, you know, a lot of, you know, so I was employees right there for some. And that's like, wow, great, you know, but, you know,
I didn't know.
somebody on Twitter. Yeah, that's perfect. We for the, and, you know, this is technically, like, this on first armies, yeah, and then I put together.
Oh, is that what this was?
So, that's what I was like, just go ahead and update it, and she's gonna be able to tell you.
Technically of sleep apnea. And it's really,
They're
that's what I was gonna say, yeah, because it's all the oxygen, the oxygen levels in the blood.
So you don't have to go to
Or you can probably show, you can give you a water.
Did you know you stopped reading?
Yeah, and I love
So do you do the CPAP? I started doing that a couple months ago. It takes the shit out of you. I got it a few nights ago and I've had a sore throat
I would take it off, man.
We'll get sneezing and
just sneezing and
Going back, since I'm going back.
no, that is bad. I mean,
The first one is
I'm doing these things because I'm practicing getting up and going.
one's gonna be pink, one's gonna be silver.
And so I'm
It's not like. The silver one's gonna be in the frame.
they did this value degrees.
I only have two people.
The sheriff had to do it for 3 days, so I could. So even though I didn't. Even though I didn't serve mine. And the,
And so it's silver.
They still
There's so much. I have base fingerprints too. I have 2 base fingerprints.
if you have
The handler will be someone. Half of America knows that she's gonna get good on this arm.
But it's if you take
Someone
it,
else needed.
it's
It's not that.
I mean, it's
No sand,
hard to
and it's no.
Like I said, without it, the system sliding down.
Yeah, I used to go through
Well, yeah.
when I was in the Navy. Carry fish out to
She had a part of it.
to get yourself through it.
Well, so she had and yeah, and so what it does is, you stop breathing. It's a domino effect. Cardiac problem.
Mine's very mild, but
Well, good.
it's enough to.
Another experience is if you talk to your dentist, if your dentist, I don't know if it's working, that he can do a job.
We're about 50 through, right? They take forever to get. That's what.
And it's solid, mission at all. The other thing that they can do is there's a sort of compilations of it, and they can just, it solve it. It's like
Oh, Brittany would love that. She loves to say it. You okay? Okay, let's go to the next one.
Things, I'm gonna keep that. and just-
Her favorite, Brittany's favorite person in that
I
part.
think that's a good
That's
idea.
my first attempt. Keep trying to.
I'm sorry, my friend Mary, she is kind of diehard.
Every night wearing.
She handles a lot of things.
Another thing
Right?
I like to do.
I mean, I've watched her handle a lot of things.
And read a book.
Brittany puts
So
that.
that's what they bring to the game.
When I saw her just double over, I'm like, I'm good.
I got so issues from that thing. It's just-
I do a lot of.
For me, I have it.
And another thing you can do is if you can go in there and you're not supposed to, but you can measure your settings. And
If I can
then,
heat it up a little, I think it'd be better.
yeah,
This charge is 82 degrees right now.
I can show you. So, I don't know what kind you have, but, you can go to Google, change the settings. Where's your machine, or I can show you if you want.
Yes, I do.
I remember
having a doctor's gonna see.
I can take it up for.
I can almost guarantee you.
And then, mine has results, you can. Mine has 2 minutes as well, I don't know if this has that. But there's a lot of things you can do.
I didn't know this
But this is a way to.
I'm sorry.
I think I've done the opposite.
It helps.
I don't know.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah, that is like.
If you ever.
One thing I know for sure is my blood pressure is
I got like.
borderline needing medication to.
If you get in a
It's like, oh my gosh, and it's
Okay.
way.
Sunday, my migraines.
One of my most.
Yeah, in that dark course.
I didn't what I want. Yeah, so I got what I wanted. It cost me $8.
Well, yes and no.
I guess there's
We'll see if the second comes to the shop. When online can
When I do have some transitioning or to lose weight. But here's the thing, my skin didn't lose weight.
I can take that.
If you could do some jazzercise and switch your little legs.
If I wanted to get it, I probably could.
We're kind of working on that ourselves.
They're asking us if they're
I didn't do that in 2007, and it was McDonald's that was going on here. It's like. That was our conversation.
I don't know how long. So I put it in.
Yeah, we like psycho or something got so weird.
I did learn that. This time,
Yes,
For me, like she's
well, that's, then I turned it from the one creative big sketch, and that one I used for 50 years. And it never. I didn't look at it.
and it's crazy too. You know, so we're trying to find videos. This is the area, because for so many years, I only had to get clean hair, and you know, now it's like, hey, well, that was a way to.
Yeah, but you could actually be on the
Yeah.
We just started.
Yeah. Oh, that's a classic where I did. So I always feel a little bad. That's the one piece I don't do is I wasn't like 5 years old. I'm a girl, soon go far. But you know, they told me I could do it.
Well, I ended up believing that must be what you use. Since
yeah, for me, it was just kind of.
Usually don't have my hair. I was fortunate that I was she was my safe place that, to me, makes sense. Because it wasn't like,
I always had different types of feet, and one was called rabbit feet.
you don't need to imitate anybody else.
It's like, oh, very much that. This one's right here. As opposed to, oh, he's just like.
Go through the process.
Yeah, I use and just remember Mondo.
I'm never gonna get it out for my eternal life.
Make sure we make, especially make sure we make time for this. It'll be, I have not. I'm just gonna. I guess we're pretty much classmates. Yeah, that's, yeah. That's a cute, but.
Yeah.
I remember that one because it's in the area code in the class, which makes getting really good. Now, in these sort of state, never go from West Lane to China. Yeah, because AT&T having their wires 150 years ago. That's how it is.
So now they replace those with.
No, I don't.
We're becoming.
Probably
Outside on the back.
I did that, that's interesting.
We actually.
Oh, that's so funny.
So they have girls that are almost.
They did.
They did.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, one of the guys that I was in school, he was
I wanted so bad to go back with them last year.
And she
The state.
Surprise!
No. Hoping for some. I wasn't planning on.
So maybe
That's like 5 or 6.
But I want her to say something, and frankly,
If you say no, they might change her.
my wife, she drives little ones. Which is, I mean, I saw her.
Dolly's like something.
That's
I think it is.
She would say,
I don't
do it. Alice, that this clearly was not what her
Frankly,
they literally just that role back.
no.
And Rose Amber's above it for you. Yeah, yeah. Silver, the whole, across the line, the whole thing. And they've got a process to do it right, and the process to do it right is
And you have the language, yeah, they just, yeah.
You change. And that's perfectly acceptable. So and then seal the old one. You know, I was only in 3.
I met this guy and his family in Baltimore.
You know, I know, they should, they
And then this guy's also. Funny. You know, normally it's the father says that. No, it was his brother just got married.
When Ryan's dad
His sister.
I didn't recognize her 43.
She's probably right about
And I just thought, you know, they kept giving us Ryan's $100. And said, that's pretty good. Nobody looks up that, you know. Deferred. Yeah, so what was the crime? It was in the diabetes, and so we had and then they had to do an autopsy because it was but
Make sure you choose, take care of it.
almost I had to find an email the city manager and CC the restaurant out there and be like, you guys are showing up, that's where you get on there. And like, see, you know, I
It wasn't really hard.
Yeah, and I had to.
Just for don't have to be
Something.
Yeah, Iowa has surprisingly progressive policies.
Well, but I did have to get notarized, from my caregiver.
A letter.
Yeah, I'm having issues getting that because of my caregiver is
Do it.
this practitioner. So
She's in the supervising, doctor, or.
Exactly, getting it. It's too much. Maybe.
I mean, I actually got. I actually got. It's really good, like, I'm 5 days out and the doctor said, oh. She is only 10 hours.
That, what do you think that means? Oh, that's just, I guess. Something else. That used to be the option, some of the.
Well, there's other people.
Not according to New Jersey.
All right, well together, right?
That's not.
She and they're two pieces.
Where's Ari?
Came all. They were not very.
Disappeared.
Social media.
Oh, that's disappeared.
It's better than it used to be. It's still a problem. It's not as bad as.
I haven't had
Not as bad as some places. If you have kids, you can't.
Yes, we did.
I have some. So the kids.
Straight from our weather.
Coffee's not that
It's not easy to smell. They just call it in the past 2 or 3 years.
So, in some ways, like when you're reading some of the original very famous, well before, like 50s.
They did.
This is controversial.
She actually.
And that's like, that might be part of it, and it's just, there's still a famous concert, you got massive rockets and all that kind of stuff, and you love the World War II, with the Gulf on it. So I can sort of think, and so the scientists said,
This is GI goes to Denver comes back to life. Just almost like.
and there's other things like, she was a race car, and there's actually that was, Christine? No, Howell.
Yes.
Another cat. Same
I love
This is the second time.
And it was an anomaly.
She wasn't very nice. She was,
I have 4 bottles of her favorite wine.
Oh, well,
She was a doctor. She's very good therapist. You couldn't,
It's gotta be.
She had her boyfriend. And then just like, He's like, why?
Oh, okay, I didn't catch that part.
Yeah. It sounds like she's. He was on lady,
Yes, I was trying to see this.
You might come up with different hair lessons.
Yeah.
I think it was more right yeah. You look
Take a picture. I'm trying to figure it out.
There's different color too. Oh,
So,
there's a different color.
well, I assume that the concrete thing is gonna be forever. I don't know, that's gonna be a hard time.
She's already come.
I don't know how you done it, so that, yeah.
They really come to the sweetheart.
It's full participation.
I've been trying to see that.
The type of thing is all about how they can charge for
I
advertising
should do that.
to get their money.
What a universe. We've had a few different colors since I've met them.
The loan is like,
For the
That's all right.
parent company to get funding.
right, but so they only make money through their Medicaid and Medicare billing.
And that's what they're.
5 years ago, individual carriers, that's what they pay. Yes, it's only donation. And when we met in person, like, we used to collect donations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is what they're trying to get with Tiger. I don't know the dynamics of it, but I know that there's a place.
Yeah. That
I don't understand it.
would be a convention.
I saw a lady in Walmart one day.
I met you in 2017. Like at the end. Sorry, go ahead.
I saw a lady in Walmart one day, I was,
That's how I met.
It'd be nice to have
that was,
and I don't know, but all of it is
That's how I met. Because Robin was she tracked me and she's like, you're part of our church now. I'm like, I don't really know you guys, so sure. We can do that. I got to know. Yeah. Because I was still.
I'm glad we do shit.
She took me to like, they were doing some 24 hours a day. Like, we need food. I'm like, okay. You're gonna stay here and help us. I remember that, yeah.
looks good. That's the color of the hair of the lady in Walmart.
They're really good at like,
She had it dyed.
they were, her face, I couldn't hold it off. You do look good at like, all your colors, it just looks, it fits all the colors. Yeah, you know that, it looks great. Yeah. That would be fun. Wait, don't pull a girl. Oh, wait, I might believe it. I've still been able to, but it's, yeah, very good. I could 23 inches off. Yes. 23 inches hair.
Not many people go for a shot.
Yes, she did. She did it her way from the time she was born. She went out.
So nice meeting I know that.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I was feeling something.
Whatever fits.
You're fine.
No.
It's being misunderstood. It is. Looks like you should just never say it. It's Mary. Yeah. Just like Karen. We tried to make her name so she couldn't get May around and then just changed it to May anyway. It's I am strongest as come and proud of it. Thank you very much.
No, what that is.
Wow. I didn't even know I had that. It's got the wrong name on it. That's not my car. Somebody did that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. You allowed me to what?
Oh, I thought that was.
No.
Because I'm so.
I'm sorry, I thought you were saying it.
And I feel like you're very.
This is on.
They're not going out with this.
Which one? This one.
I need some reference.
Oh, did you?
Okay, let's ask them.
And then.
Well, actually, I got her,
Yes.
Oh, God, I can remember it a different way.
How did Spock
She can do that.
Okay,
I can do it.
Live long and prosper.
Sakura.
Live long and prosper. Oh my gosh. Now for the second round of drinking. 2 minutes.
Once we get back to the hotel.
Oh my gosh.
I have to make sure everybody got home, so.
Who's hanging with you? You're kidding me. Her? I'm sorry. Oh, we're not taking that, so.
Probably.
Yeah, those are hers.
Later. I can help take stuff out.
There you go. That was great. You streamed all this, honey. Oh, that's what you're.